Okay, firstly, we've crafted the contract and we claimed it, but it's in inventory. We need to put it in the actual ship first. Okay, so we need to go to hangar. All right, and as you see, the hangar's empty because I've not docked my ship. So I'm gonna have to put there, there. But yet again, avoid this interaction for the sake of quests. Okay, so now we're in here. We want to go to hangar again. Check the capacity, do a full restock first because we're about to do a journey. Full rearm isn't required. Supply cargo. Most of what we've done is automatically done it itself. Okay. Just for the sake it might be a long journey, I'm just going to resupply cargo here with food. So let's put an extra 50 in there. Fantastic. Okay, as you can see, we've put 50 more food in there. Right now we want to actually put the resource that we have there, which is water contract. We've got one. Okay, so I'm going to put one there. Alright, we're not exporting to wallets or importing from wallets. We're actually just putting it in the fleet. So I'm going to go down to this little drop down here, King's Fleet, selected. And we are putting that item in that ship. Few quests will require this. This will be some niche kind of thing you'd do as a merchant. So once your other fleets have gathered the resources and piled them all into one pot, that's where you do all your crafting, because all the main of your crew is initially going to be in the main station from all the rewards and quest steps. But if you want them to be at other stations for the sake of convenience, you'll have to transport them down the line using bigger ships than the hoverbike. Because hoverbike only has one seat, there's no passenger slots. So transferring crew from one place to the next to craft, you'd require the next ship up, one of which we will get later in this tutorial. Okay, so now that is in there, we've completed the quest step. Filled the water contract order, sell water contracts in a Safe Stones Starbase local market. Okay, so let's just sell here to see if they've changed it. Surely save a journey. Right. So I'm going to try and sell one here, and if it doesn't, we'll just buy another one and sell it somewhere else. Okay, just in case it completes this interaction quicker, and it may save us some time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back to here, port contract, select that, transfer cargo to Starbase. We'll put it back where we just picked it up from. Very important to keep that in mind when transferring items. You may be wondering where some are. Like, depending how you pick them up and put them down, you need to think about what state it's in. Is it being carried? Is it in a hangar? Okay. So if it's not one, it's generally the other. And remember which station you're doing that to. Okay, because that can get confusing over time for some. And so for now, we've filled the step where we have put the contract on there, but we're just going to try and see if we can circumvent the journey by just buying and selling here. Okay, so let's go to water contract. Okay, someone is selling here, so we're going to do the same. We're not doing that one for a profit, we're just doing it and it's completed, saved us a journey. Okay, these people are literally buying water contracts just for the sake of bit cheapness because they know people will need them. Okay, just to complete quest steps. Cheeky little way of doing things, to be honest. Okay, and I'm just going to emulate that. You never know. You might get an easy flip there. Okay. those of you thinking the moral question of that, nothing is fair in trade, and you will be having to do magical things to make a profit in this. As all those know in the crypto space, making a profit is the best feeling. Right, so expands details here yet again, not making nice and easy. It's what we did about the marketplace itself. Just a place where you can buy pretty much everything that is currently being listed at that station. Always keep that in mind, okay? Might not find it one place, might find it in another. Might find it cheaper in one place, might find it more expensive in another as well. And everyone is looking to make a profit at people for the sake of convenience. People will buy, okay? Keep that in mind where you are choosing to sell your hard-earned mined materials and crafted materials. Okay, so let's look here. Let's click. Before we move on, I'm just going to quickly pop back here, and just so we have an idea of things if we missed it. Here you can create your own individual item orders. Okay, so from all the stuff that you currently may or may not own. Okay, you can put buy and sell orders. Just under there, you can put water. Okay, so that's a good way to just quickly select the kind of items that you want. All right, and then sell for here, buy for there. It'll also give you an idea of what is the best price. So right now 0 is 100% below the best price because the best price is likely 1. Okay, and the same with this. All right, so that gives you an idea of your ballpark where you are placing your own prices. Right, let's move on to the next step. Learn more about details in this scenario objective. So you picked up this ship, blah blah blah. Let's move by for now. To win this scenario, your faction must fulfill all the infrastructure contracts in every starbase outside the safe zone. That means completing full list of contracts in all the starbases or your faction territory, excluding sectors 2 to 5, and the ones orbiting your central space station. Okay, so what it's talking about here is the list that you see up top here. Okay, so there are contracts that are fulfilled outside of this bubble. All right, this is known as safe space. Okay, and some other stations will ask for certain contracts to be fulfilled. All right, contracts fulfilled in the crafting area, and you may need a certain level of crafting expertise to undergo these. All right, and by completing contracts in themselves, you will earn faction progression, and that will also make your faction be the winning faction by the end as well, which may get you rewards. So we've got water contracts, food contracts, all these kind of things, right? So we're vying for leaderboards on here. The more of these categories that we are doing better at, the more payout on that daily epoch. So when we are talking about the loyalty system, okay, this also contributes to how much money goes into the loyalty system. The reason why it's 10k currently, which is really small, is because nothing's really going into anyone's pot, because there's barely any contracts. There's only one done by Mud, because Mud are better. As you can see, we're already number 1 by the actual number of one contract being completed. That's all you need. That's good maths. Okay, so tutorial step. Ready to roll. Craft a Thimble Lobby. One of the best ships, in my opinion, in the game. It's essentially a 50 to 60 Cadillac in space. Okay, it also has 2 passenger slots, so you can put 2 crew there. You can use one to transport the other to another station should you wish it as well, so keep that in mind. It'll only initially man it with 1 crew, because like all cars, you only need 1 behind the wheel. All right, so you can use it to transport people, but it also has a lot of capacity as well compared to the hoverbike, which has 240. Okay, the lobby will have much more, and you can add that to your fleet, and that means you can mine for longer because you'll be able to yield more as well. Let's have a look. So for now, the game is literally throwing resources at us to actually complete this process. Let me just go to crafting. Again, make our lives easier, just type it in, Thimble Low. So as you can see, this is a space Cadillac. All crafted ships in Sage are NFTs, but they're generally coming out of the pool from Atma themselves, the developers, or they are crafted. Okay, there is limits to the craft amount. Okay, so once all ships are crafted in Sage, they're generally in the hands of the marketplace and the players, as well as any stock that is selling directly from the developers themselves. Okay, in Holosim, You can craft as many as you like for now because it all gets wiped by the 30th, and the resources required are actually a lot slimmer too because it is much more in Sage, but for the sake of speed, because it's a 30-day period for the season, quite low right now. As you can see, we already have these resources. The game awards you these through the quest steps to get you started. It helps you get a hover bike and a Thimble Lobby set up. Right, so for now we're just going to craft that. Because it says it goes 1 minute there, let's just put 10. Doesn't seem it's going to change that, but no. Okay, might be for the fact it's because it's a quest step. Right, so while that's doing that, let's have a look at what we have in the area, because we'll be covering this in a bit. So hydrogen is used for fuel. All right, so you need hydrogen, you need fuel. Starting area is the best place for it. So you can just craft quite a bit of fuel, so then you've got a surplus to help you get about. Then you want to probably go for food, because without fuel and food, you generally can't go from A to B. Okay, so after you've got yourself some food, I do advise that you go to Verzon 3, get yourself some biomass and bring it back. Okay, and then craft it into food here. Okay, and then after that you're going to need some copper. Copper is a mora. Okay, so the problem here is because of the hardness and the system richness, there is a large reduction in your productivity when you're actually trying to mine copper. That will take longer. All right, keep that in mind. It may be worth actually not sending so much of a big fleet initially early. You want to just get a setup where you've got multiple ships going out for each purpose, but with copper it takes a bit longer, so you're going to need more mining strength. Putting more ships into it may seem like a great idea at first, but then you also need to weigh in how many resources you have to maintain that initially. So just be patient with the process. Once you grab more fleets doing more stuff, you'll be able to calculate what kind of runs you want. Fleets returning back with resources that you've mined, fleets taking out resources so the productivity can go on, and then just leaving a fleet here to do its job and gain copper, and it'll just drop it off at the actual station. These kind of ways of developing little routes with multiple fleets will make your life easier down the line. You just need a surplus of materials initially, just so you can actually get to that stage. Okay, let's have a look at where our crafting is. Current job completed. Bam. Now we have a Thimble Lobby. Okay, assign a fleet for automation. All right, so this is the thing that's going to make your life a lot easier. So you don't have to be here doing so many interactions, taking up all your time. You can actually set up things to do it automatically, so you can just have it running in the background while you get on with your general gaming or whatever you're doing with your time, like trading crypto, just watching your socials. This is going to be perfect for the people like yourselves. Okay, so we're going to set up an automated fleet right now. Down here, actually don't know what to do. Let's see if there's some quest step preventing this. Opening the fleet tab at the bottom right corner, got it, and there you find the fleet, the automated click the little cogwheel icon. Right, there is not a cogwheel icon, that's just a typo of the text as it was last season. Generally you would be clicking down here, click on the fleet itself, and this little icon here is what we should be clicking on, setting up routes. Okay, so now you can see it's no longer grayed out. Sometimes in Holosim it can have a few bugs here and there, like all things. They're testing a lot of different stuff, different things can happen. It's day one. A quick refresh of the browser actually solved this, and then I came back and now I can interact with this icon. This icon is not a cogwheel because that's a typo in the text. That's something we can get changed by just talking to them on Discord, which I will. Okay, so King's Fleet, enable route. Okay, and this is the automated process. Okay, this is where you want to set it up to go from A to B, do thing, and then come back to A with the stuff. Okay. Enable route, got a much more comprehensive list here, but not too complicated. Okay, so multiple things you can do. Transport, patrol, when you want to do scanning, that's your patrol. Okay, it'll scan generally every area it passes. Okay, you'll most likely just have to set up a route for it. Transport, you go from A to B and bring back X amount of resource. For now, we're just going to do mining. Select location, we're going to do exactly where we are. Okay, and target resource is the only one we got is hydrogen, because it's the only one it has. Okay, so when you want to drop off on a different location, i.e. mine this at Exodus, take it to Valiant for any purpose, or the other way around, okay, I could say, for instance, go to Valiant, mine the iron ore there, okay, and then have it come back to Exodus. That way, ship would go there, mine thing, bring it back. Yeah, and then each time it goes to this station, it'll top up its resources, go back, do the same thing, because we set that up, didn't we, earlier when in the fleet hangar. Okay, just going to dock that back there for now. Just a little refresher for that if you've forgotten. It's here, it's where you do all that. Okay, so it's nice and set up. This is very important when you're setting up your automation. Last thing you want is set up automation and then it does not collect the right amount of food. Fuel and ammo to do the purpose, and mining, by the way, does use ammo. They will grab that automatically, that's just a tick away, but food, because it uses cargo, you need to set the exact value. Okay, so make sure if it's got a lot of hardness in the area, you top it up a little extra food, because it's better to be safe than sorry. Okay, always click the tick and that will update that. Okay, so we're not going to put a different route, we're also not going to go to Valiant. Let's just make some fuel. Okay, Exodus, hydrogen, wham bam, press assign. Right, we'll just wait a moment. As you can see here, not had to do it, it's just started burning hydrogen in that location. Every time it fills up, stop what you're doing, it'll come back here, drop it off. Okay, and that's it. It'll just keep repeating that process, and that's how you do automation. Okay. Right, now for the last end step, we'll click save game. That's all it wants you to do, and that will complete the tutorial. Okay, as always, close that menu. Right. Right, that concludes the tutorial for the game and how to get set up. Firstly, before we let you off though, I will tell you how to, as you can see, people have got their lobbies. Right, so let's just quickly, our ship is mining. When you are doing stuff with your ship, once it's been automating, it can get a bit frustrating, so I'm going to go through this anyway. Okay, so you literally need to do that, otherwise it's going to keep going about its business doing its thing. Okay, it's currently docked, so I did it at the right time. If it was mining, you would have to go into the mine interaction and stop it like you would normally, and then just manually put it in. Okay, it stopped doing its automated procedure at this point, which is good. If you would have left this in place, that would carry on the moment it stops, carry on doing what it's doing anyway. Okay, so always stop the automation before you want it to do something else. And right now we're going to do a process called disbanding. Okay, disbanding is important when you want to allocate ships elsewhere. Okay, so we're going to click disband here, and that fleet is now being repurposed. Crew's gone back into the station, ship's gone back into inventory. We're going to form a new fleet because we've got a Thimble Lobby now, and that uses 4 fleet cargo, fleet space, okay, as opposed to the Bikes 1. Right, that's not down to crew, that's literally just down to the size of the ship, okay, because they're 2 different classes. This is a XX small, and then you got an X small. Okay, let's tortoise fleet. It's nice, but we do like King's Caddy. Okay. Right, as you can see, needs loads more fuel, loads more ammo. Okay, automatically filled the cargo hold at 10%. It's still got the same values set up that we had before. It seems a running rule for a lot of ship setups, as long as 10%'s there, you're good. But when you've got larger ships at bay, you need to use the right amount of fuel. And it's better to be safe than sorry by testing that, by putting more food in and seeing how much you have by the end of the run. Right, so when you're trying larger fleets, just try 50% food, and then whatever's left when it comes back, you generally know that's excess. Shave that off, and then you know what kind of food groups you need. But for now, we're just going to go with 10. Okay. Right, so that's together. As you can see, that's updated now. All right, so when we look at our fuel, let's go off this. So only one crew per ship, as we said, it only takes one person to drive a car, same with this ship. So we've got 2 crew being in use. Passengers, you can add an extra or remove, all right? So we need 2 in this fleet to run the fleet. Any extra is going to pass as a passenger, okay? And because the Thimble Lobby's got extra seat space, we can do that. So if I change this value to 3, okay, it will take one from the crew available and pop them in. Max amount, no more capacity. Okay, you can take this fleet to another section, do that same thing, but then reduce it to 2, and that will drop that crew member in that station. That's a good thing to do if you want to craft at that station. So when you're farming biomass and stuff, originally just bring all the materials here and make it up. But then once you start setting up more comprehensive fleet routes, you may want to drop some people off there to do some crafting, and then you're just bringing back the resource rather than doing it A to B. You've got like a network set up that way. Okay, and this concludes my tutorial for today. Thank you very much for your patience. Remember, follow Star Atlas on Discord, and also follow Solana Gaming Discord, because that is where I am at, Kingbreaker, and the rest of the crew that I roll with, and our guys that run the community as well, like Alexa, Flamingo. Okay, follow him on socials, and you'll be able to get updates on all the things we're up to. Also follow Solana Gaming socials, so you know what we're up to and what we're following and what we're doing, and tutorials like this hopefully as well. Okay, and then also follow Star Atlas. Great team, great events always going on. I'm about to participate with the UE5 game myself, and play against a tournament that's community driven event that's actually being supported by Star Atlas, because they do support their communities in doing activities as well. Okay, good luck, enjoy your experience. Thank you.